It's the dawning of a new era of X-League indoor football. Hello, everyone. I'm Ken Gustafson, along with my partner Patrick Glory, and we are so excited to bring you the inaugural season of the Georgia Rampage and the Alabama Outlaws indoor football. And we'll be bringing you all of the home games of both these two teams. We have a special treat tonight, though. Both teams are in action. This is the first game of the X-League, a new league of indoor football beginning tonight.
Yes, it really is, Ken. I'm excited about it, and we're in for a treat tonight. We get to be part of the first ever broadcast, the first ever game here in this brand new league. Time to take a look at tonight's matchups, Ken. It's going to be a good one as we have the visiting Outlaws come in tonight. Take a look at the Outlaws, founded in 2013 by their owner, who is also their head coach, Lee Ellison. Their players will be a mixture of players with previous indoor experience and also outdoor experience. They traveled about 2.5 hours to get here today. They were here early testing out the field, and they will not play another game for another month. Their home opener will be April 4th. So they come in really as the mystery team. That is the Alabama Outlaws. They'll be in their home whites tonight. And now we take a look at the home team tonight, which will be the Georgia Rampage. This is their third season of indoor football. They previously played football in a couple other leagues. They were founded back in 2011. Their owner is Casey Smith. They played in the UIFL back in 2012, 2013. They're under head coach Mark Bramlett, which is the second head coach in the team's history. So while Alabama is the experienced team, or the mystery team, the Rampage is the experienced team.
Yes, they are. They did have a season last year. They played in a different league last year. They did go 3-5 last year, and Coach Bramlett told me he learned a lot from that experience, and he learned from other coaches on how to coach better, how to do things a little bit better, watching film study, that sort of thing. As we get underway here from Dalton, Georgia, at the Northwest Georgia Trade Center, a beautiful facility here up in Dalton, Georgia, about 30 miles or so from Chattanooga. Let's get you the starting lineups first for the Rampage.
Actually, hold on just a second, Ken. There's something interesting going on the field here.
Oh, that's right. This is the X-Dash. This is how they decide who is going to get the ball. Two guys will lie down, and as you see, they are going for the ball, and they are running towards the end zone, and it looks like the Rampage are going to get the ball.
That's number 0.
That was number 0. Getting the ball for the Rampage, Michael Figures, wide receiver out of Benjamin Mays High School in Atlanta, Georgia. That is how they decide who is going to get the ball here in the X-League of indoor football. And they'll do that to start every game. It's a new wrinkle in football, in indoor football. And I think it's very entertaining, Patrick.
Yeah, it really is, and that's cool because they also get 2 points on the board, so they are actually the first team to score without the offense ever taking the field. So that's something, one of the new sports, and we'll see a few more. Here are some of the indoor rules that we'll see today. We have, of course, the X-Dash, which is the race for the ball where the winner gets the opening possession and 2 points. We'll have the X-Spot, a special spot located in the end zones that adds 2 extra points. The X-Bonus, where points are double the last minute of the game. They'll use the red ball for that special play. The defense gets points if they make stops. They get points not only if they make stops, but also they get an extra 2 points if the defense scores. We will hear music throughout the ball game. They do not have to kill the music here. And, of course, we do have the special field. They are allowed to make small changes in the field. As tonight we'll see a rounded end zone on our left side, and we'll see a non-rounded end zone on our right. So a little bit of a different look to the field as well.
A little different look, a little different from the traditional arena football league that most of you may be familiar with, but nonetheless very, very exciting indeed. And the Rampage scored on that play. Figures took it, ran it in the end zone for a touchdown, so the Outlaws get it on the next possession. Here's Terrence Sutphin under center, the starting quarterback for the Alabama Outlaws. He gets the ball, he throws, he's back to throw. He throws it incomplete. He had number 22 open. That is number 22, John Stellman, wide receiver out of Miles College, but his pass was incomplete, so it's going to be second down and 10.
Okay, you'll have to bear with us on the roster tonight. And actually for Georgia, they actually have the Carlson game. They will have the white jerseys tonight, the traveling white with the black helmet and they will have the regular black jerseys. This is the first ever game of the league.
First ever game of the X League, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you who are watching around the nation and around the world on SouthlandSportsTV.com. We are second down and 10. Garrett Sutphin, quarterback out of UNC Pembroke. He is under center. He awaits the snap. He is back to throw. His throw is over the middle. It is over. It is out over the outstretched arm. Actually, there was no receiver in the area. A defensive back for the Rampage was in position, but it was outside. He couldn't get it. It's third down. Third and 10. Third and 10 for the Alabama Outlaws from their own 5-yard line, deep in their own territory. Sutphin out of UNC Pembroke, Division II school in North Carolina. He waits the snap. Sutphin under center. And now he's back to throw. It's a handoff. No, it's a throw. It's complete. Complete to number 7. Number 7, and that, number 7, that is, oh goodness.
As you get that info, kid, I know that had to be hard on this, coming right in on left.
Yes, it was right at us, yes indeed.
Well, the cameraman did a great shot of getting the action right there, as it came right in front of him as well.
So it is a first down. Ball is at about the 27-yard line. No, about the 37-yard line. Here's Sutphin under center for the Outlaws. And now it's a running play. And number 7 is all the way down to across into Rampage territory to about the, I want to say, 30-yard line. That was Jerron Teran with the run. He runs it all the way inside the 30.
And just to catch you up with some of the rules around here, kids, the basketballs are wide, so you can bounce off of those things. It's not like when you hit them that it's dead ball, you keep on going, and actually the ball can bounce off of those as well, and still be wide.
Okay, first and 10 from the 35. John Spellman moving, and now Sutphin's pass is...
It's caught.
It is caught. I couldn't tell from my vantage point that it was caught.
Everything to our right side, we'll have to go over monitor. We don't have an ideal broadcast location here, not very high up, but we are very close to that.
And that pass was caught by Gerard Teran, wide receiver out of Georgia Tech.
So the product check only about an hour away from here.
I believe that was good enough for a first down.
Yes, it will be first down, Phil.
So, looks like first and 10 from the 20. And let's see. Looks like the ball was caught.
We've got players that are twice our height, and we're having to go to the monitor.
Alan Crane made the stop for the Rampage. Crane is a defensive end, 6'2", 245 pounds out of Georgia Military College. Coach Bart Bramlett is expecting big things from him this season, as he is all of his players. So it's second down. Sutphin under center. He's back to throw, tosses it to the side, and that is John Spellman with the catch. John Spellman with the catch. So that's going to move the ball. It's fourth and goal. The Outlaws trying to score here. The Outlaws trying to get on the board. Score the first point of X League history. Actually, those were scored by the Rampage earlier on the X-Dash.
That's right, Ken, but this would be the first point scored from the year. And let's not forget, if the defense can make a stop this here, they will get points out of it.
That's right. That's a new wrinkle and an interesting wrinkle as well, and one of the many different rules of the X-League. Here we go, fourth down and goal, fourth and goal. Sutphin under center. Delvin in motion. They give the ball to... It's a touchdown. It is a touchdown.
And also a flag on the play.
We got a flag on the play.
That's the way
There is a penalty flag on the play.
Got our head pitcher's name here.
By the way, that touchdown was scored by Rob Taylor.
Head referee tonight is back. I believe that was a penalty foul.
Personal foul against the Rampage, so obviously the Outlaws are going to decline the penalty. And now Chris Campbell is going to... No, I take that back. They're not going to kick an extra point.
Yeah, they're going to kick it.
They are going to kick it, excuse me. Chris Campbell, the kicker, will be kicking the extra point. He's out of the University of North Alabama. The snap is good. The kick is up. The kick is good. Just inside the left upright. So with 5:36 to go in the first quarter, the Alabama Outlaws have taken a 7-2 lead.
We'll take a quick break and back right after this. This is X-League Indoor Football on SouthLand Sports TV.
Here at the Northwest Georgia Trade Center in Dalton, Georgia, for the first ever X-League indoor football game, where the Alabama Outlaws have a 7-2 lead over the Georgia Rampage with 9:36 to go in the first quarter. So the Outlaws set to kick it away to the Rampage. They scored in about 4 plays, I would say. Some nice passes from Sutphin over to John Spellman. They moved the ball down the field and they scored from 5 yards out. A 5-yard touchdown by running back Rob Taylor. So we await Chris Campbell's kickoff. We're glad that you decided to join us wherever you may be watching. Here we go. Here's the kick. And it's caught. Return run upfield. And he is tackled at about just inside the Outlaws territory. That was Michael Figures who got the ball and ran it up. So it's gonna be 1st and 10 from about the, I want to say the 48-yard line. 48-yard line of the Outlaws. $9:29 to go in the second quarter. Exciting action here, Patrick.
Yeah, this is basically going to be close to a basketball game and a football game put together. We'll see a score that's close to a basketball score, as I believe we had a penalty on the play, and they'll back it up a little bit.
It's going to be clipping,
Rampage,
I think.
Rampage will take over.
Here we go. Telford Chapman out of the University of Arkansas is the quarterback, and he is under center. Back to throw. He throws incomplete.
Had a receiver there, just threw it right at his feet, trying to hit him on a crossing pattern. That was intended for number 11 on the play.
Eric Jones, number 11, Eric Jones. Ball was too low and too wide, though. Eric Jones Wide out of Delaware State University, 2nd and 10.
Every league has a little bit of different courts and rules. We've went over some of them today. But indoor rules in general allows you to put a receiver in motion, not sideways as you would see in the outdoor game, but actually forward, laterally. So you'll have a guy that runs back about 10 yards, then you'll see him run forward, and he gets a head start on the line. You can watch that as we come set. There you go.
Right, a different brand of indoor football. Okay, here's Suttett's pass. And he scampers outside, and the ball is caught. It's caught by number 12.
Now we have official coming in, and we'll have to see if they rule it a catch.
No, he didn't catch. He is number 12. He scrambled and ran it up the side and got thrown into the wall. It looked like that might be a gain of about, no, there's a penalty flag, excuse me. Let's see what the referees call. Holding against the Rampage, so back it up 10 yards. Important for the Rampage not to get themselves into negative yardage early here in the game, Patrick.
Yeah, definitely the case here, Ken. Don't want to get into the negative yardage. Although you can make it up quickly in the indoor game. I mean, you have so much offense. This will really be a track meet today.
That's true, and you only have 50 yards to go. Well, maybe give or take 5 extra yards for the end zone. Okay, 2nd and 20. Chapman in shotgun. He gets the ball. He's back to throw. He throws a long bomb. It overthrows his receiver, number 1. That was DeMarcus Simmons. Just a bit too far for Simmons to get to.
We actually I'm sorry, Ken. We actually have a third member of our broadcast crew here tonight, Tim Connor. Tim, you had a chance to look at the field earlier. And, I mean, it's a very small field, basically played on hockey dimensions.
Yes. It looks really similar to a hockey field or hockey rink, except the glass. It's wonderful. It's got a lot of padded walls to keep everybody safe.
Those padded walls,
as y'all have seen, it keeps y'all safe too.
Yeah, that's right. Those padded walls you mentioned are dasher boards, and it's basically the same thing you have in hockey.
Now Chapman back to throw. He's going to throw another long bomb, and it's complete. It's complete. The pass is caught by number 11, Eric Jones.
That's a good job by Jones there, Ken, because he caught the ball and he got walloped after the play.
He
took a shot
did.
right to the back, but was able to hold on to the football. There's a lot of danger in the indoor game. I mean, you do have the pads and everything, which is great, but players will go flying into the stands as well as footballs. One caveat about indoor football, Ken, when a ball goes into the stands, they get to keep it, all except for the special red ball that we'll see him play a little bit later in the game. We'll talk more about that.
Folks, if you're in the Dalton area, come on out and see us. We're at the Northwest Georgia Trade Center right off of Doug Gap Road, I believe it is, right off I-75. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 48 of Alabama. Sutphin gets the ball. He runs with it. And we got a touch. And Sutphin, excuse me, I'm getting the names mixed up. Chapman took the ball. It was a toss sweep. It was a quarterback keeper by Telford Chapman, and he runs it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Great job by Chapman.
It's a good fake as well, Ken, because they were running the football out to the left. A lot of players bit to the left, and he kept it himself and went right. A good job of using your one guy in the backfield. In the indoor game, you do have to line up with at least one guy in the backfield.
So the ball is at the 3-yard line of Alabama. The Rampage poised to take the lead here.
Let's not forget those 2 points already loom large here.
Yes, they do.
The Outlaws were able to score in their possession, but because of the 2 points opening up the matchup, even though they both score once offensively, they already have a 2-point lead.
That's right. Okay, here we go. Chapman under center. And they try and run with it, but not much at all. I don't think they got anything there. So now Telford Chapman comes over to head coach Bart Bramlett for the play. 5:16 and counting to go in the first quarter, with the Outlaws leading it 7-2.
Glad you're here with us tonight. The inaugural broadcast of the X League on Southland Sports TV. Patrick Glory along with King Gustafson, Tim Connor as well, and Brad Taylor running camera for us tonight.
And now Michael Calvin is leaving the game for the Outlaws. Okay, Chapman under center. He throws a screen pass, and it's dropped to the disgust of Coach Bart Bramlett.
That's a dangerous pass when you do that, Ken, right there at the line of scrimmage. If that was a lateral, it would be a live football, and it could easily go the other way for 6 points.
Looks like that pass could have been intercepted. So we have, I believe it's third down. Third down, you really need to score here. You're this far into their territory. But the indoor football game is it's much more compact. Sometimes much difficult to throw in the end zone here. Okay. Chapman gets the ball, back to pass, and he's going to be sacked. He is going to be sacked, and that is number 60, Robert McCoy with the sack. And it's going to be fourth down for the Rampage. Loss of 7 yards, and now we got a timeout, it looks like, on the floor here.
This is going to be our media timeout, so we'll take a quick break as well. 3:57 left to go here in the first quarter. We'll pause for a quick media timeout. 7-2 your score. We'll be back. This is X-League football on Southland Sports TV.
We're back here at the North Georgia Trade Center in Dalton, Georgia for the first ever X-League indoor football game in history. The Alabama Outlaws have a 7-2 lead over the Georgia Rampage. Here we go, fourth down. Chapman in shotgun. DeMarcus Simmons in motion, and we have a false start. It looks like somebody moved. Somebody on the offensive line for the Rampage. And the Rampage really hurting themselves, Patrick, with a lot of penalties here early on.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first game for these guys. Early game jitters.
That's true.
One thing about the Outlaws that we've mentioned, this is it for them. This is their first indoor game. A lot of these guys have played mostly outdoor football. Talking on the conference call a couple days ago, they reminded us that this is only partially a team that's played. Maybe 5 of these guys have played indoor football before, but a lot of these guys play for the outdoor team that Lee has, which is the Warriors. The outfits they're wearing tonight, ironically, the same color as the Rampage has.
All right, fourth and a long way here. They were at the 3-yard line. Now they're way back almost to midfield. Okay, Chapman's got it. Chapman back to pass. He throws over the middle. It is over the hands of the intended receiver. That was Eric Jones. Eric Jones could not grab it, and the ball turns over on downs. It'll go to the Alabama Outlaws.
And we see there, because it turned over on downs, the defense made a stop. An extra point has went on the board, making it 8-2, because you do get a point for every time that you hold defense.
I wonder if Roger Goodell is watching this game, Drew. I wonder if this might be giving him some ideas for the NFL.
Well, Ken, he likes to change the rules a little bit as of late. Goodell
yes, he does.
Probably see some of this. But, we've mentioned earlier about the kind of the quirky rules and stuff. This reminds us a little bit of another professional league that had a very short stint. That's the XFL, which is owned by Vince McMahon. A lot of the things we see here tonight we've seen before in that league.
Right.
I got an interesting nugget on the XFL after this play, Ken.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Outlaws at the 40-yard line, at their own 40. Sutphin under center. And here he is, back to pass. Throws over the middle. It is complete, and the receiver is run out of bounds. That's number 7 for the Outlaws.
It's going to be enough for a first down, Ken.
I'm sorry?
That's going to be enough for a first down.
That's going to be enough for a first down. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. Have a discrepancy with some of the roster names here.
Yeah, what basically happened, the roster, the jerseys didn't get in quite soon enough. That's why they're wearing Warriors jerseys. So the rosters that they have are not the rosters that we have here, so we kind of have to wing it a little bit. But we're basically still a month out from the regular season for these two teams, though. Alabama will not play their next game for another month, and our next broadcast will actually be here later on in 1 month.
Second down, short. Now number 7's in motion. Sutphin back to throw. His pass is complete. And that is number 16. And Stephen Stone for the Rampage on the stop.
I mentioned that nugget from the XFL. One caveat about that they brought us to the NFL game was that they were the first ones to use the actual cable cam that we see so much, and that'd be a great thing to have out here in indoor football. But we see it used even in the Arena League, and we see it used in basically every level of football up from the college level, and that was actually brought by the XFL years ago, Ken.
Okay, here we go. I believe it's first down. We got a timeout?
We do have a timeout here.
Timeout here on the floor. And we have a media break?
We will take a quick timeout. 8-2 your score. As you can see there on the scoreboard, 1:28 left to go here in the first quarter. We'll take a quick timeout. Be back right after this. This is X-League Indoor Football on Southland Sports TV.
We're back here at the North Georgia Trade Center. The Outlaws have an 8-2 lead over the Rampage. First and 10 from midfield. Number 7, Hall in motion. Sutphin back to pass. He rolls out, he dumps it, and it's knocked away, almost intercepted. Great play there. And that was Alan Crane with the defensive play right there. Great play by Crane, Patrick.
Yeah, it really was. Anytime you can get a hand on the football here in this league and break up a pass, it's big. We go back to it. You make a stop here. It all comes down to field goals, too, because it's really a 4-point swing when you have to kick the ball for field goals. If you don't make the 3 points on the field goal, you're giving them an extra point, too.
Yep,
so
yep. It's very, that's the kicking game is extremely important in this league.
Important. It makes it more important than it would be in just any other outdoor football, or indoor, should I say, football league. So big third down here, Ken.
Big third down here. Third down for the Alabama Outlaws. Sutphin back to throw. He throws over the middle. It's intercepted! Intercepted! It's intercepted by number 13, and he's going to take it all the way back to the house. Touchdown! Touchdown, Georgia Rampage!
Now I'll be interested to see how many points they put on the board here because the defense scored. This should be 8 points on the board for the Rampage.
Akeem Scruggs with the interception. And he takes it all the way back for a Rampage score. Great defensive play by Akeem Scruggs. Scruggs, a defensive back out of Mays High School in Atlanta. So the Rampage tied the score 8-8.
And we'll have to wait, but I think they're going to put the 2 points on the board. There we go. There it is. So that's going to bring it up to 10. We'll see that appear on the scoreboard here in just a second as we end the quarter of play. We'll see the 2 points go up, and this should be a 10-8 ball game when we come back from the break.
10-8 ball game.
We'll actually wait. They're going to kick this before they go to break, Ken.
Okay.
The extra point.
They're going to kick the extra point.
And there is the 10th point on the board.
Timeout on the floor. Both teams regrouping after that exciting play there by Scruggs.
Looks like we are going to take a quick timeout, so we'll take one, too. 8-10 your score. And we'll come back right after this break. This is Southland Sports Television's coverage of X-League Indoor Football.
We're back here at the Northwest Georgia Trade Center in Dalton, Georgia. The Georgia Rampage have taken the lead over the Alabama Outlaws on an interception by Hakeem Scruggs. Scruggs took it all the way back the other way for the touchdown, and being that he intercepted the pass, he gets as part of the rules here of the X League, they get an extra 2 points for a stop and 8 points for a score, so it is 10-8 Rampage, and they are and now the Alabama Outlaws with the ball at just inside their own 5-yard line, trying to regroup after that mistake, that interception by Garrett Sutphin. Here's now first down. Sutphin under center. He gets the ball.
He's going to keep the game, but he's going to be short.
He's going to be short. Correction, you know what? The Rampage had the ball there. They were trying to score the extra point.
Yeah, they were going for the extra point.
My goodness. We're going to get it together, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with us here.
Hey, this is your first indoor football game, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I'm a little bit of a veteran now. I've seen several leagues. I've actually worked for our owner of the league and chairman, should I say, Michael Mink, who will join us at halftime. Michael's our commissioner. That's actually his proper title. We'll talk a little bit. We'll refresh you here on the rules. As you can see here, we have special rules. The X-dash that we see to begin the ball game. The X-spot. Nobody's hit the X-spot yet, but I don't know if we can get a camera on it in just a second. But the X-spot is a X in the middle of the end zone. And if you catch a ball in the X-spot in the middle of the end zone, you get an extra point, an extra 2 points actually. Then you have the X bonus, which is a bonus period the last minute of the game, points double. It's kind of like Family Feud, you know?
Yes.
Where you go to that lightning round and everything doubles. We've already heard tonight the music throughout the venue will play throughout. They don't have to stop the music as you would see in, say, professional baseball. It is like basketball. The NBA, you have music that plays constantly.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much like basketball, as you said.
It keeps the game flowing, Ken. You
Yes,
really
it
don't
does.
have a dead time. In football, the bands have to stop playing in high school while the other team's offense is on the field. None of that. They just let everything go and just play it out. And we've mentioned the field tonight. We do have curved end zones on our left. We have a little bit of a curvature on the right, but they allow you to change the end zones a little bit just to fit your facility. We'll see that come into play when we go to our other facility that will be in Birmingham, Alabama. So we'll see if we can see the X-dash throughout the night. That will be in the end zone, and we got a camera on it right now. That's headed to it, I believe, but X-dash will be in the end zone, the middle, or the X spot, should I say, right there as we see on the left side of your screen. That X right there, if you catch something in there, Ken, that will be 2 extra points in your favor.
So the Rampage have a 10-8 lead. They were unable to get the extra point, though, and now they will kick it off to the Alabama Outlaws with to start the second quarter. I'm glad that you decided to join us wherever you may be around the state of Georgia, around the nation, around the world, watching the game on SouthlandSportsTV.com. Okay, so the Rampage are going to kick off here. And there's a line drive kick, goes up against the wall, and it is picked up by number 6 for the Outlaws. Correction. Number 6 had the ball. Tareem Pullum of the Rampage on the stop. That was Wayne Williams picking up the ball.
Now, the kick that we've seen off the boards, we'll see that come into play a lot. Every kick essentially could be an onside kick where you bounce it off the boards. Did talk to the coaches in the conference call tonight, or a couple nights ago. They have different philosophies on how to kick, but it's not like the Arena League where you just kick it deep into the net. The nets are not in play here. There is one to our left where the crowd is, not one to our right. You have to keep the ball in play, so you can't just kick it into the net and have it bounce off. So another caveat of indoor football. That's at every level except for the Arena League, which is the only ones registered to use the nets.
So Garrett Sutphin and his teammates going to have it 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Sutphin under center. Coaches say he's a great leader for them. Okay, Sutphin, he's going to give the ball to...
That was 5 on the run, maybe. Nope, I'm sorry.
Number 5.
It was 5, I was right.
That was number...
Nope, it was 16 on the run and 5 on the stop.
I believe that was Torin Retta. Torin Retta, wide receiver out of Jacksonville State University. He caught the ball, and Stephen Stone made the play. So the ball now at the 45-yard line, a gain of 7, roughly. Now Sutphin under center. And he's back to throw, dumps it behind him, and the Rampage snuffed it out. He threw the ball back. It looked like the beginning of a flea flicker or something like that, and the Georgia Rampage was right there to snuff it out.
Well, what you have here, Ken, you have your receiver in motion from forwards or backwards to forwards instead of left to right, so you can get that guy ahead of steam and build him up, and if he can get past the line real quick, I mean, he's off to the races. There's nobody that can catch him because he's got that head of steam because he's able to get back 10 yards and run. So, but it's a very dangerous play. If he would have dropped the ball there, Ken, that's a lateral.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous play, especially you had the defense, the Rampage, they smelled it. They were not fooled by that. They were right there on the spot.
Indoor football, in a sense, is very much high risk, high reward.
Yes, it is.
You take a lot of chances like that.
You do. Okay, so the Outlaws lost a lot of yardage there. It's going to be 3rd and quite a bit from their own 30. Sutphin in shotgun. He gets it. He's back to pass. Sutphin is going to throw a long bomb, and this one is intercepted. The pass intercepted.
Number 7 on the interception.
Intercepted by number 7, and that is Rotherhead. Rotherhead, a defensive back out of Morris Brown College, intercepted right at the 1-yard line.
I tell you what come into play here is actually the height of the building here. The quarterback couldn't get as much air on it as he wanted, had to throw a line drive. We've seen these two teams warming up before the ball game. You have a little bit of a low ceiling at this facility. Every facility is going to be a little bit different. That's one thing about indoor football. You have to play the facility.
That's right.
I think if he had that pass to do over again, he would have liked to have thrown it a little bit higher and got some air on it, but you just got to keep it low.
And that's why there's no punting as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the second turnover, second interception thrown by Garrett Sutphin. And now the Rampage, it was a touchback, actually. Ball intercepted pass was in the end zone, so a touchback. And now now Telford Chapman and company have it, and we have a flag on the play. It looks like a false start against the Rampage. So both teams taking chances, more so the Outlaws. We've seen 2 long passes that have been intercepted.
Yeah, we're seeing the white hat. Anthony Bass, our head official tonight. Here's the lineup. Marcus Woodby, our line judge. Head lineman is Andrew Scotchless. Harold Johnson is the back judge, and the clock operator is Jason De Jesus.
And by the way, being that the Rampage were able to get a stop, get an interception, they got an extra point. It's 11-8 right. Rampage now.
Good call there, Ken. Good call.
So Telvin Chapman under center. He's back to throw. He's going to throw. He's got C.J. Dial. Dial running along the sidelines, but it was incomplete.
And we mentioned the roof coming into play. A lot of times quarterbacks will like to throw either to the right or to the left as opposed to throwing it straight ahead because essentially if you're throwing it to the right or left, you have more space to work with. In the indoor game, you're a lot more cluttered. Sometimes the field is too small to do the things you want.
That's exactly right. You're almost better to throw it down the middle in indoor football. You have more space to work with. Okay, 2nd and 10 from the 10-yard line. Telford Chapman gets the ball. He's back to throw. Throws over the middle. Pass is caught, and it is caught, let's see. Caught by Eric Jones. Eric Jones with the catch, and he is manhandled right along the boards.
That's going to bring up about a 3rd down and 8 here, Ken. As you can see, his momentum wasn't stopped in the board, so he was allowed to keep going even though you're pinned up against the boards. As long as your momentum is not stopped, you're alive on those dasher boards. You can push off of them and keep on going.
That's right. So 10:32 to go here in Dalton, 10:50 to go here in the second quarter. 3rd and 8 from the 35. Chapman gets it. Back to pass. Chapman throws it along the sidelines, and it's caught.
Big catch there.
It's caught, and it's going to be a touchdown. Or is it?
I believe so.
Yes.
There we go.
Michael Figures.
Yep.
Big pass play. He caught it along the boards, got away from the defender, ran it all the way in for the score.
You see him doing a little victory lap around the facility here. That's at least his second touchdown tonight as well, Ken.
Michael Figures, he's the one that was in the X-dash to decide who would get the ball to start this game, and he ran the ball all the way back for a touchdown for the first 2 points of the game. So the Rampage have a 17-8 lead, and they're going to try for the conversion. You know what? I'm not sure who the field goal kicker is. Yes, okay. Let's see what they decide to do here. Looks like they're going to try and throw it in. Now SouthLand has it. He rolls to his right. He fakes. And
it hit the turf, Ken. Incomplete.
Incomplete. So the extra point is no good. But a big pass play from Telford Chapman to Michael Figures for about, I'd say, 35 yards. Gives the Rampage a 17-8 lead with 9:29.
And Ken, it's a special night for us, special night for the league. This is opening week of the inaugural season. The next game coming up for the league will be Friday, March 21st. That's just like 2.5 weeks away. St. Louis Attack will take on the Pennsylvania Steam. That's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff, and that's at the arena, the Santander Arena over there. And our next broadcast will be coming up Sunday, March 30th, as the Georgia Rampage will take on the St. Louis Attack.
9:29 to go in the first half here. The Rampage is leading it 17-8 as they will kick off to the Outlaws. 2 big interceptions by Garrett Sutphin of the Outlaws, resulting in touchdowns. Turnovers, whether it's in the NFL or the X League, can cost you, and we saw that there. Okay, we await the kickoff from the Rampage. Pretty decent crowd here at the Northwest Georgia Trade Center.
Yeah, that's a nice facility, built in 1991. It will hold 2,100 people, not quite that many here tonight.
Here's the kick. The kick hits the boards. It's picked up. I believe that is number 22. That is John Stellman. John Stellman.
And again, we see it bounce off the dasher boards. The Rampage, their kicking game, they really look experienced hitting the ball off those dasher boards. Quite impressive how they do it. I wouldn't be surprised if sometime tonight they're able to bounce one off and maybe come up with the football.
Yeah, that would be a good idea to hit it off the boards. The ball will bounce around, and you're right, Patrick. They'll be able to recover sort of like a de facto onside kick.
And a good job by the Outlaws as well. I mean, that thing's been bouncing off the boards all night long, but they've done a very good job of coming away with the ball each time. I know it's
they have.
They've practiced in the indoor game.
Sutphin in shotgun at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10. High snap, but he gets it. He's back to pass. He throws. It is complete along the boards, and that is that number 7. That mystery number 7 guy, I believe, looking at his jersey, I believe his last name is Hall.
Okay.
We don't have him listed on the roster for some reason. So Mr. Hall catches the ball, and he gets a few yards. 2nd and about 5. Sutphin under center. Back to pass. Throws over the middle. It's incomplete. He had number 7. That was his intended receiver, but number 7, Rotherhead, the defensive back for the Rampage, made the play to break it up.
Yep, Head got the hand on the ball, Ken.
Yes, he
Going
did.
back to the play before last, you mentioned that it was a high snap. The timing is so important in an indoor game with that receiver coming across. That completely threw his route off, so then he was left with one less receiver on the play, which was only one more out there that he could go to.
So it's third down about six or 5, I believe. Sutphin under shotgun. Back to throw. Throws over. It's intercepted again. The 3rd interception for Garrett Sutphin. And this is Gerard Tarrant, defensive back out of Georgia Tech.
And we see the extra point go on the board, making it 18-8. a 10-point advantage. Player down there, it looks like that is number 16 that's hurt, as we'll get some eyes on him.
It looks like number 16, and all right, not sure who that is, as we do not have an updated Outlaws roster.
Looks like he may have hit that arm, got that arm pinned up against the board. Again, these are the best way I could describe the dasher boards is they're padded on the outside, but the inside is a plastic material, kind of similar to what you would see in portable construction, maybe on the side of the road. That's one way it's been put to me, but it's the same type of board that would be on a hockey arena. Just it's able to be collapsible, and they can put it together to make a full arena.
So the Rampage will have the ball at the 46-yard line of the Outlaws. Chapman in shotgun. He's waiting for the snap. And Figures in motion. He looked like Chapman was trying to get Figures along the sidelines. It was incomplete.
18-8, a 10-point game. Seems like everything is rolling right now for the Rampage. But let's not forget, if it's anywhere near a close game at the end, we could have that the issue with the exponents at the end of the game where
That's
that can
right.
really come into play for them. It could be quite the event. I would say even if it's like a 16-point game, with a minute left to go, it's possible.
What he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is that a minute to go in the second quarter, a minute to go in the game, if you score a touchdown, it's double the points. So it's 2nd and 10 here. Here's the pass from Chapman to C.J. Dial. Dial gets away from his original defender, gets up along the sidelines, and let's see. And he was run out of bounds, run out of momentum, shall we say.
And a flag on the play as well, so we'll have to see
Might
what
be
the call
a
is.
face mask. That's pure conjecture, being that our view is blocked.
No crowd, no field mics here, so we'll have to rely on our cameraman Brad and also
Or even the PA announcer.
The PA announcer as well.
But it appears it's against the Rampage.
It's
Probably
actually gonna
looks
be a
like holding. Holding is still 10 yards in the X League, just like in the NFL. There are still some things that are true in both normal NFL football and the X League. Football is football, whether it's indoor or outdoor. And one of the things that does not change is the holding penalty.
You won't see as much holding because you really don't have the pass rush that you have in the outdoor game, but it is called a few times. But as we both know, holding pretty much occurs on every play.
2nd down from the 44-yard line. Chapman back to pass, looking over the middle. It's incomplete.
And we got
a pass interference call, it looks like.
Yeah, but we may have something on this left side here, too. We got a flag on the left and we got a flag on the right. This may be separate calls. The flag on the left came right at the snap of the football. The flag on the right side of your screen came as the pass was being broken up.
And that would be offsetting penalties.
Unless they were both on the defense.
Right, that's true.
I think we may have a hold here and a pass interference, but we'll wait and see.
And the referee going over to talk with Coach Bart Bramlett, or actually...
Yep, I believe that is going to be...
It's holding against the Outlaws.
And holding against the Rampage.
So it is offsetting.
Defensive and offsetting penalties. Head referee tonight again, Anthony Bass, who's in charge. It's a pretty important game for him because, he is the first head official of this league, and it's a lot to take in. Every league, if you're new to the game, kind of has its own set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
The X League has taken stuff to the extreme, which hence their name.
Okay, 2nd down from the 44-yard line, 2nd and 20. C.J. Dial in motion. Chapman's pass is incomplete off the fingertips of Michael Figures.
Yeah, you had two guys really, I think both of them thought that the pass was intended for them. Tipped off one hand, but we did have another flag on the play. And right now the officials are doing a good job here of explaining it, as you see on the left side of your screen here. He's stopping and telling the guys, it's their first game. You got to tell them what they're doing wrong, and he's doing a good job of that.
Yes, he is.
We'll wait for the call here.
So we'll have 3rd down, and I believe 20 yards to go. They're not showing us the downage on the scoreboard, and it's kind of hard to see from our vantage point what the down and distance is, what the distance is.
Yeah, these are basketball scoreboards, so really no way to give us the downage other than maybe put the fouls up.
So, well, the ball is placed just outside the 50-yard line at the 49. So
It's going to be 1st and 10, Ken. It was an automatic first down.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the 49.
That we can handle.
C.J. Dial lined up to the right. DeMarcus Simmons trips to the, and now we get a little flea flicker here. He throws it to Simmons. Simmons throws it over to Michael Figures. So we had a little flea flicker going on where Telford Chapman threw it over to DeMarcus Simmons, number 1, who threw it over to Michael Figures along the boards. And it was a nice play. It gained about, 6 yards. 2nd and 5.
Essentially, that's near what you're going to see almost a running play, these short passing games. They have more short passes than the Denver Broncos here.
2nd and 5 from the 46.
You had your receiver here, Ken, that was way offside on the right side.
Yeah, and Coach Bramlett, very angry, very unhappy. That's undisciplined.
It's probably a good 5 yards. But you know what, Ken? It's on the quarterback, though, because the receiver, he's just taught to go. Your quarterback has to have an eye on the receiver. What he's got to do is look at the receiver as he's coming across, snap the ball. It could be on the center, but it is up to the quarterback to get that timing just right. You don't want to snap it too soon because then you don't get the advantage that you're looking for. You don't want to snap it too late because then it's a penalty.
Exactly. Coach Bramlett talking with DeMarcus Simmons there, explaining to him what he did wrong.
And on each play, you'll pretty much see a receiver just dart across the screen.
So it's 2nd down.
Here he goes.
And here's Chapman back to pass. He throws it over the middle. It is almost intercepted. It's incomplete. And I tell you what, number 3 for the Outlaws was very, very close. Or number 5, I should say, Jeremy Banks, very close to getting an interception.
It's a big play here for the Outlaws. They're trying to get the momentum back on their side before the half. And with 4:36 and a running clock, it will run down to the 1 minute, basically the 1 minute warning when they'll stop the clock after every stop possession. That's pretty much an indoor football rule. They let the clock run until about the 1 minute mark. But it's big here. It's a very big play on defense. Let's see if the Outlaws can stop them and get themselves back into this ball game.
I want to mention, I'll mention this after this next play here, the ticket packages for the Rampage games, or for both the Rampage and the Outlaws. Okay, 3rd down, and they give the ball to, looks like they gave it to Chapman. Chapman kept it. It was a quarterback keeper. No, they gave the ball to Anthony London, and London was stopped. London really didn't get any yards at all.
And in the indoor game, Ken, you really have to run the football just to keep the other team honest every once in a while. You won't see but maybe a handful of runs per night. You'll see a few quarterback keepers, but it'll be a lot of short passing yards that really takes the place of those runs.
So it's I'm going to say 3rd down. 3rd down from the 50-yard line.
4th down, Ken.
4th down, excuse me.
If you get a stop here on defense, you will get an extra point.
Chapman in shotgun. Michael Figures in motion. And now Michael Figures going to run around the back of the quarterback. Now Chapman back to pass. He's looking, rolls to his right, throws, and it's out of bounds. Incomplete.
So that will give an extra point here to the Outlaws, Ken.
That will give an extra point for the Outlaws on a defensive stop, and it also gives the ball to the Outlaws. A turnover on downs. 18-9, 3:04 to go in the 2nd quarter. We're glad that you decided to join us, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're watching in the Dalton area. If you're in the Dalton area, come on out and see some good football here. We thank you for those watching around the nation and around the world, especially our servicemen. Always want to thank our servicemen for everything that they do to keep our country safe.
And the replays will also be up as well, so if you don't check it out live, if you're not able to check out some of these games live, we'll have the replays as well. They'll be accessible for you.
The Outlaws have the ball at the 50-yard line. Sudfith under center. And now he's back to pass, throws it over the side to John Stellman, and Stellman is wrapped up right away. That was number 50, for the Rampage. Also, Prentice Hollings on the stop. Hollings, a nose guard out of Fort Valley State University. So a very short gain, maybe about 2 yards. Actually, maybe, about 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 from the 48. The 48 of the Rampage. Garrett Sutphin in shotgun. Number 7, Hall in motion. Sutphin, back to pass, over towards the side. It is caught, and the receiver is met and leveled.
Yeah, big hit on that play, and now the Rampage trying to get the crowd into it defensively. It'll be 3rd down here, 3rd down and about 3, Ken.
That looked like Akeem Scruggs with the stop there. So 3rd down and 3, a minute 50 clock is running. It is 18-9 Georgia Rampage.
If the Rampage again can get a stop here, Ken, they can get that point right back that their defense gave up just a few minutes ago.
That's right. Clock is running, a minute 34. Ball is at the 37-yard line. Sutphin throws it to Stellman. Stellman breaks a tackle. Stellman is going to be, and it's a fumble. It's a fumble, and it's picked up by the Rampage. And they're going to take it all the way in for a score, I believe. Oh, my goodness. Stellman had the ball, and it was stripped out of his hands. I couldn't see exactly who that was.
And to say that's a game-changing play right there would be an understatement, because let's remember, you get 8 points on that, and you get to kick the extra point or go for 2 here. This could be a 10-point swing, not to mention the points that the Outlaws lost by not getting the touchdown in the first place.
Boy, the Outlaws have really hurt themselves with turnovers.
The clock is continuing to run, but, Ken, it will probably be reset here to a minute if the officials... and they're just now making the touchdown official.
It looked like that might have been Akeem Scruggs with a touchdown with the scoop and scatter to the end zone.
And there we see the 1 minute is put back on the clock. They'll get the score straight in just a second as well. It's a lot to keep up with, but they're doing a good job here tonight.
What a great half for the Rampage. If you're a Georgia Rampage fan, and I know a lot of you are going to be after tonight's game, what a dream start.
There you see head coach Lee Ellison, you seen him just a second ago. Not happy about the play. Really, the 2 key factors in this game has been the turnovers. I mean, the turnovers, obviously could be 10 points. It was only 8 last time because they went for 2 and didn't make it. But let's see what they do here, Ken. This could be 10 points up on the board.
Sutphin with 3 interceptions. I believe 3 interceptions, or was at least 2 interceptions. And now this fumble and return for a touchdown. Okay, they're going to try the extra point.
I believe they got in.
And it looks like they got in.
So that will be 10 points altogether when we were told. I mean, that's huge there right before the half. For Alabama, the Outlaws really need to score this next possession.
They really do. The momentum is totally on the Georgia Rampage side. I mean, they are just manhandling and running away with this right now. It's 28-9. Now things can change very, very quickly in this type of a game.
Now, we do have the X bonus, but I believe it's only going to be the last minute of the game and not the last minute of the half. I've seen it listed 2 different ways. If they put a red ball into play, we'll know it for sure once they get their play from scrimmage. But I believe it is only going to be the last one of the game, the last 1 minute of the game.
That's right. When they use the red ball, ladies and gentlemen, if they score a touchdown using that red ball, it's double the points. A touchdown then is 12 points. So, in essence, the losing team is really never out of this.
And after the game, they will hand off that red ball to one person in the crowd. If the red ball goes out of play during that last minute of the game, they do have to throw it back in. But at the end of the game, they will hand the red ball off to who they feel will be the X-League player of the game for that night.
All right, Anthony London, who doubles as the fullback, he is also the kicking specialist. He will kick. His kick is a high line driver, and it is caught by, let's see who it was. So 55 seconds to go. 55 seconds to go in the first half. The Rampage have a 28-9 lead. And now the Outlaws have got, as you said, Patrick, they really need to score here to get some momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, I mean, this is indoor football and anything can happen, but you don't want to get too far behind the 8 ball here. And I certainly hope that that's not what they're doing. I want to see a competitive game in our first game of the year. And let's remember, the experience factor goes completely to the Rampage, but those 2 turnovers is really what has cost Bama. Other than that, they've been right in this ball game.
Ball at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10. Sutphin under shotgun. Back to pass. Sutphin. And we got a flag on the play. It looks like it's going to be holding. Fumble on the play, and it is picked up.
Now let's watch the flag here, Ken. This could be a big play in the game. Keep in mind, this would put an extra point on the board for the Rampage if indeed they come up with a football. Looking for the white hat there, head official.
And Prentice Hollins came up with the fumble. Number 99 for the Rampage. And we got a timeout on the field.
I think they're sorting out through the flag here.
So the penalty was against the Outlaws, and the Rampage get the ball back.
Yeah, we'll put that 29th point on the board as the defense makes a stop there. I got to give it up to the scorekeeper. He's done a good job of keeping up with this.
Yes, he has. He sure has. And by my count, that's 5 turnovers on the Alabama Outlaws.
Yeah, it really has been what has cost them. They've had a couple fumbles, a couple interceptions. Oh, it's been tough with them.
And now there's plenty of time for the Georgia Rampage to add to this lead before the half to really, really impose their will.
But keep in mind, Ken, if you're the Outlaws, you can look to get a stop here on defense, at least get you 1 point, but possibly if you can return it back, you can have your own 10-point swing.
That's true, exactly right. One of the benefits of X-League. Okay, Chapman gets out of the pocket. Chapman scrambles. Chapman is down at about just inside the 30-yard line. Chapman went back to pass. He faked it, saw an opening, and decided to be like Michael Vick and run the ball all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Well, and he's speedy, too. It's real important if you have a guy that can run in the open field like that. There's not a lot of open field, so you got to be very shifty.
Actually, you know what? There's DeMarcus Simmons at quarterback. He's playing now. Simmons back to pass. Simmons, his pass is complete. And Eric Jones is manhandled along the boards.
Ken, we're going to see a timeout here as he went into the dasher boards and declared himself into the boards. But they'll go ahead and stop the clock here with 10 seconds left to go, trying to get that last point on the board. There you see head coach Lee Ellison a second ago trying to coax his defense into making a big play or two here.
So Coach Bart Bramlett putting DeMarcus Simmons at quarterback. And Simmons making 2 great plays there, one with his feet and one with his arm. Simmons normally is a wide receiver out of Benedictine College in Kansas, small NAIA school.
You know your schools, Ken.
That's one thing I do. I follow all of college sports, not just the Division I.
NAIA is a terrific place to really play sports at. It's not the NCAA, but I mean it's very similar.
It sure is, and more and more there are players coming from those schools and making impacts. And even in the NFL. Okay, back to the game here. Ball at about the 25-yard line. And Simmons in shotgun. Simmons gets it. He's back to pass. Simmons rolls to his right. He throws into the end zone. Touchdown!
Wow. What a catch there.
Touchdown, Michael Figures. And that ends the first half, ladies and gentlemen. And the Georgia Rampage making their mark on their inaugural game in this inaugural season of the X-League.
Let's not forget, kid, we still have the extra point, too.
That's right. It's 35-9. The Georgia Rampage over the Alabama Outlaws, extra point pending.
You don't think this guy likes to show up a little bit, do you?
Yes, they do, yes. Oh, this is fun. This is fun to see. I've always enjoyed arena football. This brand of indoor football is very exciting. So we await the extra point. The Rampage don't like to kick it.
No, they don't. Honestly, they may not have a guy that they
may not.
can be kicker.
That's true. They may not have a kicker, so they're going to go for it. And it's a 2-point conversion. Okay, Simmons back to pass. He dumps it into the end zone, and it is intercepted.
Oh, this could be big.
Intercepted. And he's going to run it all the way back for a touchdown. Oh, my goodness.
Now, Ken, this is something that I haven't prepared for. This was defensively a score, but this was not a touchdown. So it's only going to be 2 points instead of the 8. So that could have been a big swing there. If that would have just been a regular play, that would have been an 8-point score.
Wow.
But now it's only going to be 2 points since it was just an extra point.
So the Alabama Outlaws do get some measure of comfort, if you will, or measure of success to end the half. We're at halftime here at the Northwest Georgia Trade Center in Dalton, Georgia. The Georgia Rampage 35, the Alabama Outlaws 11.
Go ahead, Ken.
We're going to take a media break, or we're going to keep it right here?
We'll take a media break. Coming up at halftime, we'll be joined, I believe, by Commissioner Michael Mink. We'll also take a look at our upcoming broadcast schedule. All that's coming up as halftime. We'll start now. 35-11 your score. This is X-League Indoor Football, brought to you by Southland Sports TV. We are back here at halftime. Patrick Lloyd King Gustafson. Ken, am I saying your name right? I haven't.
You are saying my name right. Yes.
It's not the easiest, man. You didn't
no,
make
it's
it
not.
easy on my first
It's not the most
broadcast.
common name. Most Swedes are up in places like Minnesota or Chicago, Wisconsin, places like that. Not a whole lot in Georgia, but Gustafson. Yeah, you said it right.
All right, we'll take a look at our upcoming broadcast there. As you can see, our next broadcast will be Thursday, April the 3rd. That'll be the Florida Marine Raiders taking on the Georgia Rampage right here on Southland Sports TV. We are your home for both Georgia Rampage football and also Alabama Outlaws football. It's just a coincidence tonight that the two teams that we are broadcasting for this year are playing each other. As we continue down the schedule, we'll see the last broadcast of the year, ironically enough, will be these two teams. This will be in Alabama at the Outlaws facility. We will see the Outlaws for their home opener. That'll be Friday, April the 4th. We look forward to hopefully getting you on for that one as well. St. Louis Attack at the Alabama Outlaws. That is an 8 p.m. Eastern time start. Let's not forget Alabama is in Central Time, so they'll start an hour earlier at 7 p.m. Central Time over there. The Outlaws, by the way, play in a very nice facility. Their arena holds about 6,000 people, and it was recently remodeled. It was built in 1987, but recently remodeled. Is the home to the Birmingham Blitz basketball team, Miles College, and AHSA events at the Alabama High School Athletic Association. This venue here tonight's been a good one. Just hosted TNA Impact Wrestling a few nights ago for a house show, and I've been quite impressed. Just looking at the facility online, Ken, as we look at some of the halftime activities going on here. It's a good place to watch an indoor football game.
It really is. I'm impressed with this facility. You get a great view no matter where you sit in this stadium, in this arena. They use this arena for basketball games. This is the home arena for Dalton State College for their basketball games. And now they're going to use it for the X League. And just looking at the at the dimensions and everything. You got seats behind the goal post, behind the north goal post here, and then along the one side of the field. Yeah, it's a very, very nice place to watch a game. You're right on top of the action.
Yeah, you really are. I mean, there's only probably about 12 or 15 rows of seating, should I say, and then in the end zones as well. I would love those end zone seats. Action will be coming right at you. Well, okay, we're just going to take a quick break. We're about 5 minutes through halftime. We're going to be joined by Michael Mink, I believe, here shortly. Of course, he does have some other duties as being commissioner of the league and everything. I do want to thank Michael. We've actually worked together in the past. Michael tonight doing a good job of promoting the broadcast. This is the first ever broadcast of the league, so we're hoping, even if you're not fans of Alabama, even if you're not fans of Georgia, we do hope you're fans of the league, and we know some of you are tuning in tonight just to see what all the league is about. So we'll come back right after a quick break. This is X-League indoor football coverage brought to you by SouthLand Sports TV. We'll be back right after this timeout. And we are back here at halftime. I'm joined by Michael Mink. Michael, what's your official title with the league?
I'm actually the founder, co-founder, co-owner, and commissioner of the league.
Okay, so we have three things going on here. Now, we've got some history in the past with some other leagues, and I've enjoyed your company over the past. So you're not exactly new to this venture of indoor football.
No, not at all. I've been in the game the last 10 years. I first met you when I took over the Montgomery team in Alabama. We called them the Miracle Marlers. They were 1-5, and we won the next 6 out of 8 and made the playoffs and went undefeated. I never lost a game in Alabama.
Hey, that's right. That's right. I remember you used to make the trips down from the north to come over there and see the ball games. Man, it was good times, but this is kind of evolved over the years for you, right? I mean, you had that league you've worked in some others, and this is kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, this is your baby, though, right? I mean, this is kind of all that culminating together.
I went to Brazil this summer and coached over there a team called Manaus Cavaliers in Brazil, and when I was over there, I decided I was watching arena football a lot, on computer, and I decided, hey, let's make something funner for the fans, something faster, make it more unique. So I came up with this brand of X-League football, where we got different type of scoring system. We got the X-dash, you got the X-bonus period in the fourth period. I wanted to make the bonus period in the fourth quarter like an NBA basketball game. It's fast, it's furious, threes raining, or a hockey game where they pull the goalie, and everybody's pressing forward because double points in the fourth quarter. Alabama's not out of this. They had 6 turnovers in the first half. They got to control. They got to control the ball, control the tempo, and settle down a little bit and play the game. It's their first time playing indoors, so they're at a big disadvantage, but they're going to learn.
Well, that's one thing we led into in our preview. Really, Alabama came in as a team that was unknown because we don't know. A few of their players have indoor experience, but a lot of their guys are from the outdoor game. We knew experience would be on the Rampage's side, but you didn't know what Alabama was going to bring to the table. I think the two teams are even, except for the turnovers. That really has been the determining factor in the score right now.
Yeah, they're both physical ball clubs. They both got good size. But, hey, you turn the ball over, you fumble it, you put it on the ground, you turn it over in the air, you're going to have problems. And, I think that is the difference in the game is turnovers. But without those turnovers, I think it'd be probably a tied score.
Now, one thing that makes this league a little bit different is rewarding the defense a little bit more.
Yes.
The defense, if you get a stop here, you get an extra point. We've seen a 10-point swing here earlier on where the Outlaws had the football. The Rampage not only got the football back, they scored on it, hit the 2 points, so they got 8 points for the touchdown on defense, and then turned around and got 2 points, and that was a 10-point swing right there, not to mention the fact that the Outlaws didn't score. That's potentially a 17-point swing there.
Oh, most definitely. I'm a defensive guy, so, I'm an old linebacker, and I love defense, so, hey, let the defense have some fun. We in Arena League, in Arena League, they don't let the linebackers play. In our league, we're letting the linebackers drop back. They can blitz inside, outside. Hey, and let the defense, it's a hard game to stop inside. So they get a stop, they get a point.
Now, most people watching are probably familiar with the Arena League, of course, the nets. There are several other differences in the indoor game. One thing I like to see is the kicking strategy. We've seen tonight that the Rampage have done a lot of good kicks off the dasher boards, and they've almost came up with the football several times.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, squib kicks are good, especially here in Northwest Center here. It's a low ceiling, you know what I mean? So kicking really doesn't, play into it. Big kicker with a big leg is not going to kick Unos tonight,
Yep.
So they adapted. The Rampage have adapted, to their own building.
And you can see that also on the Alabama side of things because they've had a couple balls tonight that they wanted to get a little bit of loft on.
Yeah.
I think the low ceiling came into play. When you get to your facility, that warm-up time before the game is really important because every building is a little bit different.
No, and that's true all around. I know when I coached at Carolina Speed, we had 5-yard end zones, so there was no pass at Harley. You had to play physical power football to get it in, and we built our team that way. And same here. The Rampage has built their team. They don't have a kicker on the roster. They go for 2 every time. So they got 18 guys, with no kicker.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see. I mean, it's kind of risk-reward. Me and Kim were talking about the league, indoor football as a whole, has always been built on a little bit more risk-reward than outdoor football.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, hey, the risk is, you try to go for that touchdown, you get picked, and there's only 8 guys on the field. There's a lot of open space.
Now, one thing I noticed tonight, just looking at the two teams and how they compare, I see the quarterback receiver, especially a receiver that goes back in motion. That's a timing thing. We've seen the penalties tonight with false starts. But the timing with the quarterback and the receiver, how important is that in the indoor game?
It's very important. But, early on you're going to have, we're going to have complications with the rule book. We've already had issues tonight with understanding of how the linebackers can play. It's the first time that any Arena League has let the linebackers loose,
Right.
So you're going to have different interpretations of the rule, So it's going to take us a few weeks and a couple games to get everybody on the same page, But after we do that, it's going to be a fun time for everybody.
Now, of course, that was going to be a given in the first game at every facility. You're probably going to run into similar things. Will you be on hand for a lot of these openers?
Yes, I will. I will be in Alabama on 4-4.
Okay.
I'll be back here with my Florida team here on 4-3. So I'm looking forward to it. St. Louis and Pennsylvania has some veteran ownership there, very good ownership, and they also have MISL soccer teams. So their whole staff is in place already. It's been in place since October, so they've been playing soccer their indoor soccer for the last 4 months, so 5 months.
The soccer setup is very similar to this as well. Can you talk a little bit about how this arena kind of fits into like the hockey, indoor, lacrosse style?
Yeah, same thing basically. Hockey has the glass and the ice, and we got the turf and no glass. The biggest thing here is I like the openness of the field. You see the fans leaning on the wall. This game is very intimate to its spectator. It's one of the only games that you can go and you can be right in the game. NFL, you're back sitting in the stands. After the game, everybody gets to come on the field, meet the players. We're here for the fans, and we're going to grow it for the fans. And we want this to be a real blue collar sport where we continue to move guys up. I know the Raiders organization, we moved up 8 guys in 2 years. I've moved up over 80 in 10 years. We want to continue moving guys up to the Canadian Football League and the National Football League.
So we see 6 teams this year, and you guys are allowing the home teams to actually play one non-league game as well, which I like.
Yeah.
Talk about your decision in letting them play that, because that could get controversial, very easily.
Yeah, we have an 8-game conference schedule. And actually, each team can play 2 non-conference games.
2 non-conference. Okay.
It costs to go on the road. It's 100% loss on the road. So if we felt that if we could have some non-conference games where some teams can get, invite some local clubs or teams in the area to generate more interest and generate some revenue for their program, it'd be a great thing for them. but we wanted to have as minimal road games as possible to keep the budgets down for these teams come back next season.
I can tell that you put a lot of things into place. You've thought a lot about what makes other leagues successful, and maybe more importantly, what makes other leagues unsuccessful. And I can see that your mind is working and trying to change some of those things. And I like the ideas. Of course, first game of the year, there's going to be little kinks with the scoreboard and scoring and that kind of stuff. But overall, I like the direction that the league looks like it's going to head in.
Well, I appreciate it. We appreciate you guys doing this here live tonight, across the nation. We've got people in Brazil watching. We got people, all across America watching. We just want this sport to grow. Most importantly, we want our players to get recognized and get those guys to move up to the next level.
All right, Michael, we got about a minute left, so I know you need to get back to some other stuff. Appreciate you, man. It was good seeing you again. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this. This is X-League Football on Southland Sports TV.
We're at halftime of the inaugural game of the X-League with the Georgia Rampage leading the Alabama Outlaws 35-11 here at the Northwest Georgia Trade Center in Dalton, Georgia. I'm Ken Gustafson along with my partner Patrick Glory. Patrick, we've seen an entertaining first half, but a somewhat dominating first half as far as the Georgia Rampage has gone.
Yeah, it really was dominating, but things could change on the dime here in indoor football, especially with that bonus play coming in at the end of the game. If Alabama can manage to crawl their way back into this game, make it maybe a two-possession game underneath about the 3-minute mark, I really see this being a close, competitive game at the end. But there's a lot of football to be played. This could end up going either way. It could be a blowout on Georgia's side. Let's not forget, this team has 3 years of experience that Alabama does not have.
That's right. And chemistry is everything. When you have a group of guys together, they form camaraderie, they've been playing together. That's a big advantage over a team that does not have that has not been together. And what has really hurt Alabama in the first half was 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions by quarterback Garrett Sutphin, and then 2 fumbles. One of them returned for a touchdown, and there you have the 35-11 score. And really, that's pretty much the story of the first half. Just too many turnovers for the Alabama Outlaws.
Yeah, too many turnovers. Can't have that. That really is a ball game, Ken. Right there in a nutshell. You mentioned it. I know they're disappointed about how they started out, but it's a brand new half. You can come back and you can bounce back very quickly in this league. And I do expect that out of Alabama. They've been practicing hard, Ken. They've been out in their facility in the suburbs of Alabama, in Birmingham, and I know they want to come out and play a good second half and make this thing competitive. You never want to get blown out in your first ball game. Let's see if they can really turn things around. Other than the turnovers, though, they're getting things together. It's a lot of rules and stuff to play with. The guys don't have their jerseys here. It's kind of a not night for them, but
this first game of the season, his first game, you know, you're not going to have everything right. Not everything's going to go perfectly. Goodness, not everything goes perfectly, you know, 10, 15, 20, 30 games in. So, you know, both teams have a long way to go, but the Georgia Rampage right now really exhibiting and really giving a good account of themselves, especially defensively, making plays and being opportunistic on turnovers, creating turnovers as we start the second half here at the Northwest Georgia Trade Center. And it looks as if the Outlaws, no, the Rampage are going to get the ball. Here's the kickoff, and it's fumbled but picked up by Rotherhead, and Rotherhead is knocked down by John Stellman of the Outlaws. Head gets the ball, or I should say is tackled at about the 47-yard line. 27-yard line of the Rampage.
And we got to remember these numbers change. We're so used to thinking of the 25, of the 50, but tonight it's the 25.
The 25.
It takes a little bit to get used to that.
That is, yes it does. Yes it does. Okay, ball at the 27-yard line as Telford Chapman, starting quarterback for the Rampage out of the University of Arkansas, and he gets the play from Coach Bramlett. And they line up on the 27. 1st and 10 to start the second half. Rampage leading 35-11. Chapman back to throw. He throws over the middle. It's caught. A very short game, and now both players are fighting for the ball. Both are fighting ball. It should be a tie. Tie would go to the receiver, I would think.
Yep, normally it does.
And it was number 28. That is Travis Ledbetter. He was tied up with number 31 of the Alabama Outlaws. And again, we got a discrepancy with their roster. But Ledbetter, they ruled it was complete to Ledbetter. Travis Ledbetter. He is a wide receiver out of Campbell High School, Smyrna, Georgia. So second down. Actually, I'm wondering if that pass was incomplete. Well, there was no gain. There was no gain. It was complete no gain. Second down and 10. Back to throw. Long pass from Chapman. Looks like it's caught. Is it? It looked like it was caught in the end zone.
They reminded the officials that you can't catch it off the wall.
Oh, they caught it off the wall. So incomplete pass.
No, it's supposed to be live. The boards are live. They're trying to explain to the officials right now. They're not getting the call, and they're stopping it here. There we see the official.
And Coach Bramlett is pleading his case, saying that should be a touchdown. And now the officials have ruled it's an incomplete pass. So we got 3rd and 10 from the 27 of the Georgia Rampage. 12:50 to go early in the second half. Rampage up to the line. Ledbetter out to the side. Here's Chapman, back to pass. Chapman, he's going to roll, and now he throws it over to the left side. It's incomplete. And Eric Jones was the intended receiver. Pass is incomplete, so it's going to be 4th down for the Rampage. Thank everybody who's watching. Thank you, whether you're